welcome. You are tuned into the Win Win Life talk show and podcast, and I am Michelle L. Forbes, your host. So, if you had no fear, no limiting beliefs, no lack of self confidence, no low self worth or value, no low self esteem, no sort of limiting beliefs at all, who would you be and what would you be doing? Those two questions in one of my times, quiet time just before God this week, popped up in my spirit. And as I prepared for our show for today, I found that they popped back up again. And so, as we're closing this month, as we're looking at the Creator, you, because you were created, I was created, we were created in the image and likeness of God, which means as He is the Creator, so too are we. And so, as we're looking to close out this month with looking at the Creator, you, those two questions, we want to look at them as we zoom in on the message that was on our flyer for this week, or flyer more like a reel that was posted in my status on all my pages. So the question asked, how do you get past the hindrances to the Creator you so that you can start creating? How? How do we do that? I'll leave you to ponder on that just for a bit as we pause for this promo. So today's show, we're not meant to be long because I want to leave you with just enough so that you can go and take it further, flesh out the answers that are required to those two questions. Very key to the remaining days of us here on this earth. How will you do? How will you be? What will you be doing? Yeah? As we look at how do we get past the hindrances? What are some of those hindrances? Just like what I mentioned just now, the low self-esteem, the lack of self-confidence, the low self-worth and self-value, shyness, timidity, and you name it, and on and on and on we could go. Anxiety, procrastination, excuses. How do you get past those hindrances to the Creator you so that you can start creating what? All that God has already predestined, downloaded within you to do. It's just a matter of you arriving at that location where the raw materials are embedded within your spirit to pull forth through the birth womb of your mind and bring into this world. How do we get past? I strongly believe it starts with a decision. A decision. Do I want to or do I not? Why do I say that? Because in as much as we're created in the image and likeness of God, He forces us not. He applies pressure on us not. He placed before us in scriptures, He says He put before you life and He puts before you death. This is Him talking to His people. And He says, but I, your God, your Father, encourage you to choose life. But I'm not going to force you. I put the two paths before you and I encourage you to choose life. So as we are looking at the Creator, me, the Creator, and what is it that I have to create, or what are the things that I have to create here in this earth. We want to first make that unshakable, immovable decision. God, yes, I am taking ownership of my birthright as a creator. I am putting on the suit. I'm taking the mindset. I am making that shift in my paradigm, in my spirit, soul, and body to take and embrace, take ownership. Like, this is mine. Like, if you have a relative who died and left you some great wealth and great inheritance, would you just care like it don't exist? Or you could have it lawyer. No. Because it is one of your loved ones who left it for you, it has even more sentiment attached to it. How much so that we have this creative ability within us, a heritage that we have given from God. How much more shouldn't that have some sentiments and like, I refuse to allow anyone to have me miss out and stop short of flexing my muscles as the creator that God created me to be. Like bulldog decision. Yeah, I'm taking ownership. This is mine. I am a creator. God made me so, and I'm taking ownership of it, and I'm walking in it. I'm stretching out. I'm embracing it all. Unapologetically. That's my challenge to us this afternoon. Embrace the creator you that God has made you to be. As I said unapologetically just now, another part of my preparation I recalled today. Hi, Sharianne. Hi, Sharianne. Blessings to you too. Blessings to you. Amen. Yes, Sharianne. It's a choice. We choose to take ownership of all that God has placed within us to be a creator. We choose to take ownership. And so, as I said unapologetically just now, one of the part of my preparation came back to me, and I made a note of it as it came to my mind. Confidence at times is misinterpreted for arrogance. Confidence at times is misinterpreted as arrogance. Why? Because there goes an individual, and I wrote down, and this confidence most often is birthed from a life or place of perpetual bondage to people and self-inflicted prisons. People bondage and self-inflicted prisons. Most often, that confidence that people would take for granted and interpret it as though she's been arrogant or he's been arrogant. Oh, if you know the half of the story. Only if you knew the half of the story. That misinterpret arrogance is confidence. There goes a person who is finally just free to be all, to be themselves, to be all, to do that which they know they've been called to do, that which they know they are here to do. And so many times, such a person is mistaken as arrogance. When they get up and step, when they open their mouth to speak, it's confidence that was birthed from a place where there was imprisonment of that individual. Imprisonment imposed upon them by people, imprisonment imposed upon them by the chains and the locks that was given to them, and they took it and bound themselves. Because somewhere along the line, their mind told them that this is who you are. They heard it for so long that their mind began to tell them, yeah, that's who you are. You're shy. You ain't gonna amount to much. You can't speak. Your words are slurred. Oh, like Moses. I stammer, I stutter. Over and over. You heard it for so long. You heard it for so long. You're good for nothing. There's nothing going to come out of your life. You've heard it for so long that you started believing, your mind started believing it, that it is true. And the moment that took place, you imprisoned yourself. And so when you see that person step forth and begin to speak, now, yes, there are times when some of those confident persons, they are proud like puss. But we're not talking about those. We're talking about the persons who are confident, where their confidence is misinterpreted as arrogance. But only if we know the half of the story. So how do we get past these hindrances? Such as that person whose confidence broods and speaks so loudly that is misinterpreted. How do you get past those hindrances to that place where you confidently stand in the skin, whatever color it is, whatever shape the body is, whatever age the body is, you stand confidently in that person, embracing all of you, embracing all of why you are here, and showing up to be the creator you, delivering to this world what you were sent here to deliver. How do we get past? First, that decision. That this is mine. This is who I am. And I accept it. I embrace it. I take ownership. Then you decide. We look at those two questions. And those two questions are followed by a third question. And I'm going to go a bit more with those two questions and then share some on the third question right after this. Love to dance. Some people say you're not to toot your own on, but I can tell you that book right there, that I Am Affirmed and Loved Gratitude Journal, powerful, simply powerful and timely. Every month I have found, as I'm delving in the pages, and I've heard from others who would have bought it, like every month is timely and keyed. The word required, needed, fitly joined with that month that it's in, orchestrated by God through Michelle, yours truly, who said yes to the creation of that book. Quick story. It started all the way back in March of last year. And I sat on it. I gave in somewhat to those hindrances that we mentioned earlier. But it was meant to be birthed and pushed out and be created, finished before the closing of last year. And on December 24th, it was submitted to Amazon. And on my birthday, received the message, January 1st, 2:11 a.m. in the morning from Amazon. Your book is live on Amazon. That was God being given the opportunity to align himself with his creation, who chose to say, yes, I'm gonna embrace this individual whom you have called me to be, a creator. I'm going to embrace this assignment that you've called me to create this book. And I'm going to push it out. I remember as I wrote the last pages and reviewed them all, and just as I submitted it, I literally broke in tears. I'm like, God, it's done. I did it. Literally broke in tears. God, I did it. It's done. Yeah, and we had a moment together then. But yeah, he's looking forward to have those moments with you too. Yeah? When he can partner with you to create what this world is waiting for out of your womb. Will you give him a chance? Will you decide today that I'm going to embrace it? God, this is who I am. And there's no if, no but, no question, no maybe, no apologies to anyone. I was fitly joined together for this position called a creator by the creator himself. Yeah. And I'm going to put on my suit. I'm going to stretch myself and allow myself to grow out and fit that suit where it seemed as though it's my second skin. Like the tailor made the outfit while it was on me. Because I chose that I'm going to embrace this call, this birthright called a creator. So after you would have made that decision to embrace, we now want to look at those two questions. What are the two questions? The two questions I asked when we just started were, or did I ask you those two questions? Did I ask you them already? No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. So the two questions I asked were, if you had no fear, no lack of self-confidence, no low self-esteem, no low self-worth or self-value, no shyness, no timidity, no procrastination, no anxiety, no excuses, nothing called any sort of hindrance, who would you be? And what would you be doing? Here, the third question. Based on the answer that you will give, and the answer that you give is to have no restraints at all. No restraints, no restraints, no restraints as it pertains to money or place or thing. No restraints. No restraints as it pertains to even your physical appearance on your body. No restraints. Why? Because God don't have any restraints on you. So you're looking at it through the lens of, I have no restraints. I have no hindrances. Who would I be? And what would I be doing? And based on the answers for that, the third question is, why not be that person now? Why not do those things now? Wrap up those two questions in one. Why not do and be it all now? I would like to have us to really sit down and set sometimes, like hubby or wife or children, like, I need some time here. Or simply leave the house, go to a quiet place, and intentionally ask yourself that question, those questions. And after you ask yourself those questions, get quiet, zip it, and employ these. Employ them from the inside out. Listen. In Psalm 46, verse 10, God said, be still and know. How can you know a thing? How can you know God? How can you know anything? Be still and know. You spend time in that place and you listen. Less talking, more listening. In that place of quietness, ask the question and be still. And when you get answers, get to writing. And when you write what you received, you ask the question again and you be still and you listen. You're listening for two voices. You're listening for the voice of God and you're listening to hear your voice. God made us with answers. I heard Miles Monroe in one of his sermons that I listened to. It was all the way back in St. Kitts. Yeah, I remember when I was going to school in the morning and I was listening to it while I was on the way to school. And he was saying, if you want to start a business, look for a problem and then solve the problem. God made us. We are wired to be problem solvers. So that's why I said, ask the question, which is in the form or can be termed as a problem, and then be quiet and listen for the answers because they're there. They've just been waiting for you to get quiet. They've just been waiting for you to be intentional about taking that moment and being quiet because the world around us is so noisy. So noisy. And these past year and a half where I've been intentional in being quiet has caused me to realize how much noise there is. Like, OMG. It's loud. And you have to make the decision that you're going to step away from the noise and you're going to take that time and you're going to be quiet and you're going to listen. You're going to ask the questions, the key questions, the pertinent questions, the thought-provoking, the questions that will have you dig, not surface, dive deep and pull out the answers. When the answers come forth, the follow-up is, okay, how do I do this? And hearing the how, my recommendation to you, because it is so quickly, you can get overwhelmed so quickly, especially if you're so tapped in that you just keep just getting downloads. And it's like your table is full. You can get overwhelmed pretty quickly. So as you ask the how, you want to make sure you key into locking down on what is for when. Like the journal that I shared with you in the promo, that journal was to be birthed in 2022. What is for when? So that you can give attention to what is more expedient to be executed now, and then put on the shelf what is to come for later, the next month, the next 2 months, the next 3 months, the next year. But as you get the how, you want to be sure that you rightly put the what's that you are to create in the time slots based on God's calendar that they are to be in. And that you will find will come both the how and the timing as you continue to stay in his presence and inquire of him. He will make it clear. He's a God of light. He desires for us not to be walking in the dark or in the shadows, because there's no shadow of turning with him. Yeah. So I'm going to pause for there and I'm going to give you a sneak peek on something that is coming up, a new series that is coming up, a follow-up to this month of what we would have been focusing on. And here we go. Yep. So this is our new series that will be starting coming next month, the month of April, and it's Meet the Creator series. The Creator you, and the Creator me. Meet the Creator series in whatever different fields, and in simultaneously in alignment with Meet the Creator series, we're going to be having Meet the Author. So we're working on some stuff that we're going to be coming up with in the months to follow. Meet the Creator. So as we have been talking about the Creator you and the Creator me, we want to meet some of the creators, the little G's that God made in his image and his likeness to create some things up in this earth. We want to meet some of them, and we want to hear about their creations, their story towards bringing forth that creation, what it took for them to bring forth that creation. How did they get to the point where finally it's done? We want to hear their stories. And as you hear their stories, I want you to see you. I want you to see that it is you. Meet the creator you in every individual that will come on this talk show and podcast. You will be meeting yourself. Mm, mm. You will be meeting yourself. Maybe a different color, gender, size, or different creation. But there goes you. Every individual, male or female, boy or girl, man or woman, each of them as they come, I want you to be reminded, there goes you. And I want for as you tune into each show that it pull on. I want it to be pulling on the creator you that you are. I want it to be pulling on the creator you that is in you. Every show with every creator that we'll be having coming up to share on what it is that as they partnered with God, they were able to create in this earth here, and that is serving people across this globe. Yes? As we bring the show. Yep. As we bring our show to the winding down, where we're looking to close the curtains now. I want to remind you of that question. Why not now? And if you were anything like I was, who excuses was my best friend, I'm going to encourage you to keep the excuses. Pack them up, drown it in the sea, put it in the garbage bin, and ensure that the garbage truck pick it up when it's passing. Refuse to subscribe to excusitis anymore. Because as I asked the question, I could hear the excuses coming up. But. And you know, I refuse to subscribe to excusitis. When you ask yourself, as you take those quiet moments, why not now? And what I would like to leave you with this afternoon is mark the date. Mark the date. I would encourage you, don't let it go past April 1st. This is 26. So today is March 26th, the last of this series that we've been having, looking at the creator you. Let it not, and I'm going to tell you what it is, not go past into the days into April. If you want to put your headspace in the right space. Take some time to put your headspace in the right place. Get your heart in the right place, your mind, and all that you think or believe that you may need to before you make a commitment. And this is the commitment I'm asking you to do. A 1 year commitment, whether it be from this date or from April 1st, which is on Saturday coming, that by this time, so let's say it's April 1st, by April 1st, 2024, this, and I want for you to ask yourself the question and then answer it. So, what will, just like we ask ourselves those questions, who will you be? What would you be doing? So, by April 1st next year, this is the who I will be, and this is the what I will be doing. And compare, make a note, log it, make a note of who you are now and what you're doing now. So that by next year, April 1st, when you look at the two logs, if you decided to embrace the creator you today, if you decided to refuse the excusitis and to subscribe to it, if you decided that you are going to be intentional and take those quiet moments, even if it means you have to jump in the vehicle and leave the house and go somewhere where you can be quiet, be still, and know God and know what it is that you have been called to create. If you decided to do that, to sit down, be still, and answer those questions, you will be amazed to see the resemblance of your life April 1st, 2023 to April 1st, 2024. And who knows, I may just invite you as one of my guests to share your journey as the creator God has called you to be. And it would be my honor to do so. It would be my honor. I trust and believe in the God that is in you, and I trust and believe that you have all the capability. He suited you well with everything that you would need to create everything that you ought to create in this earth. And whatever may not be included within your artillery, it will show up at the appointed time. I encourage you, as you walk this path of embracing the creator you, be sure that you walk it not by your feelings, but by faith, not by fear, but by faith. Yes? Just before I go, I'm going to share with you again our promo with our journal. If you haven't yet picked up yours, or if you know someone who you know would be beneficial, it will be beneficial to, by all means, either pick it up for them or send them the link. Yes? So, with that, we bring our show today to a close. And indeed, our 4 weeks that we've been looking at Meet the Creator You. Talking about the Creator You, talking about the Creator Me, talking about the Creator that God created in His image and in His likeness. It's time to create some things up in this earth. It's time to create some things that will bring glory and honor to the God whom you serve and will be a blessing and bring great value to our fellow mankind. It's time to partner with Him so that those creations could hit the earth before you check out of here or before Jesus returns for His people. Yes? You have a wonderful rest of the Sunday. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to share Hi, Sharian. Yes, enough of the excuses. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. April 1st next year. Okay, you're going for April 1st. All right. Okay, I love it. I love it. Yep, yep. It is indeed a blessing. I show up here each Sunday after Sunday because I'm committed. I've chosen to partner with God. I've chosen not to yield to my feelings. I've chosen not to, but to partner with Him and to be here, to shine. Sherry, you said something about, yep, enough of the excuses, shine. To shine to His glory, honor, and praise, and to be here to bring value to you, whether it be that I'm going to be sharing based on some teaching that I'm going to be doing, or from a guest that will be visiting with us as we allow them to share their story. Join me in being a creator. I created the Win Win Life talk show and podcast. I created the I Am Affirmed and Loved gratitude journal. I created, and on and on and on. Join me in becoming a creator. Let's rephrase that. Join me in shining, in bringing God glory as the creator that you are. Not will be, are. Okay? Please, if you have not liked, shared, followed, if you have not subscribed as yet, if you're tuned into YouTube, do go ahead. Stay tuned as we will be looking into bringing you more valuable content as we go forward. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of the Sunday. Bye now.